Hey guys, and welcome to another video. If you don't know, my name's Chantel and this is my channel. It is actually very new, but some of the videos are very old. This one, however, is a very new video, and it is something that I am experiencing in my pregnancy significantly. So this video is mainly, if you couldn't tell by the title, it's going to be like discussing mental health, how important it is, and pregnancy with the unsolicited advice and comments that you always get, and like how that can make you feel and how you can process things like in a specific way. This is also something that this is Oakley. She's a little upset because we're not going to do what she wants, but also this is something like that I'm super passionate about. So mental health is also something that I'm going to school for. Not mental health, but I'm going to school to be a counselor, and it's so important to me that, like, if I have a client like this, that I can give them the advice that they need. I haven't really found a specialty that I want to go into, but I know that I've considered going to counseling during this whole entire time just so that someone can listen to me, because I found that that is the hardest thing that no one wants to do. They want to all give you advice and want to tell you how things are going to be, and what to expect, and that you're not going to be able to do this, or you just wait until the baby comes, but they don't really ask you how you're doing or listen to what you're saying or how you want to raise your child or how you want to parent your child. It's like, oh, well, that's never gonna happen. You can shut that out the door, like, whatever the case may be. So what I wanted to go ahead and talk about, and I do have like a limited time limit, but I really wanted to film this video. But Jose's currently at the gym and it's 7:57, and I think he left like at 6 something, so I'm trying to do this before he gets back home. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is a first feeling of when you find out that you are pregnant, and that mental health and how that can affect you. Basically, when I first found out that I was pregnant, I did experience some bleeding, which can be normal sometimes, and sometimes it cannot be. However, I also experienced this bleeding at like 12 weeks going into 13 weeks. So, and it was like, you know, not like your average bleeding or not your average period bleeding. It was really severe, like where I would actually, like, at 12 weeks, I would bleed through things. Like, I would bleed through a towel, or I'd bleed through, like, it was just a lot of blood. So mentally, emotionally, I always had a list of who I had told at the time and who, like, I know this sounds very crazy, but like, I was just very concerned about like what people would think of me if I miscarried this child. Like, I felt like it would be my fault. I felt like it would be like, I don't know, something that I would have to explain and something that I would have to go through with other people, or that, you know, something of that nature. And I know it sounds crazy, but we are the type of people, like, in society, we are the type of people who makes miscarrying a child significantly so bad. And it's not that it is bad, like, you are not any less of anything. It's sometimes not even your fault. Well, most of the time it's not even your fault. It's not something that you could have prevented or anything of that nature, and I feel like that is not talked about enough. And for the first couple of weeks, like, I didn't want to tell anyone, and everyone, like, there was like pressure to be like, tell your grandmother or tell this person or tell that person. And honestly, I knew what my body was experiencing, and I did not want to do that. And I felt so much pressure that I did, and I told people so early. And that following weekend was when the 12-week mark of when, like, I was getting ready to go into my second trimester, roughly, maybe sometime or another. But I was still in my first trimester, and I had told like so many different people, and everything just kind of hit at once with the severity of the blood. And I was like, well, now I've told everyone, now I've done this, and I've done what I didn't want to do in the first place, and I feel like you were compelled to do things that you don't want to do. So I feel like it's very important for you as a human being to take a step back and understand, like, you don't have to do things because people tell you that you do, because that's so not true. Like, you can make your decisions for yourself. And I don't know if it's just because I'm a people pleaser, but I did not make those decisions and I regretted it in that moment. There's a lot going on, and in that moment I was just, this may be a little bit too much information, we're only at the 5-minute mark, but I literally sat there and I was like, I cannot believe that this is happening. And here's the thing, Jose wasn't at home at the time because we weren't technically, that's a whole nother story, but Jose was not home at the time, and when it had all happened, no one was home actually, and I was literally like panicking. I was crying. I was like, God, please don't let this happen. Like, in that moment, I literally, until this day, I still have a list of all the people that I had told. I was like, well, I don't know why I felt this way, like, why? But those are things like, those are things that, like, I feel like it's very important for people to understand when they're pregnant, is you don't have to do everything because everyone else wants you to. Like, you are so much more than what other people, like, tell you. Another thing, going into the second trimester, a lot of people are like, well, you need to do this and you need to start doing that, but don't get too excited. So then, like, throughout my second trimester, I was like, I just need to make it to 24 weeks. I just need to make it to 24 weeks. At the first part of, like, my pregnancy, obviously, I was like, I need to make it to 12 weeks and everything will be fine. And then I was like, everyone's like, yeah, you've made it to 12 weeks, but you're only in the second trimester and a baby's not viable until about 24 weeks. So I was like, okay, now I've got to make it to 24 weeks, and I am, like, mentally stressing. I don't want to get too excited. I don't want to buy clothes. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. But then at the end of the day, like, I'm like, I just want to be happy. Like, I want to be able to celebrate this little life that I'm giving, like, you know, that God has chosen me to, like, carry at this time. Like, I want to be able to, like, just be happy, and I felt like I couldn't. Another thing that I had, and I also do have a paper of a book, because it's really, really hard to remember things at this point in time in my life, but there was some advice. So there's, okay, I have been discussing, like, you know, with family members and also with other people, how I want to kind of parent my child, how I want to raise my child, things I want to do in, like, once she's here. And a lot of people, like, for instance, there's this sleep training, type of program that you put your child on, and it's something that, like, I'm very, very passionate about because I really, really love my sleep. And a lot of people are like, that's not gonna work, that's not gonna be an option for you. Like, do you know what happens when a baby comes here? Your babies do not sleep. Or they're always like, your child is not gonna want to do that, and you don't even know, like, how your child's gonna be, and this, that, and the third. And to a degree, you guys are right. I'm gonna, like, let you guys know that to a degree you guys are right in the instance. I don't know how my child is gonna be. I have no idea how she's gonna be, but you don't either. And how I parent my child is completely different than how you parented your 4 children. And my child is also very different than your 4 children, or your 3 children, or your 2, or whenever you had kids, whether it was 25 years ago or whether it was, like, 3 months ago. Like, things are so different for each person, each baby, each everything, okay? And it's really, really hard when someone tells you, oh, well, that's not gonna work for you, or that's not gonna be like, that's not gonna be something that you're gonna be able to do, or your plan is just a mess because you don't have anything planned out, and you don't, well, I don't know what you people think that a person is supposed to react to that in, but it makes me as a human feel incapable that I can't raise my child, it really does annoy me as well, because you have no idea how my child is going to be. You have no idea what's going to happen. You have no idea the type of person I am or what I do in my personal life. You know only what I allow you to know. And I feel like the mental health, it really like, it does something to your mental health. Like, you get to a point where you just want to shut down. You don't want to tell people anything. You don't want to let people know anything, because then you're like, everything that you say is just going to be shut down. Or like, that's not going to work for you. And that's not the case. So I really stressed, and this is one of like my main topics or main concerns, is that every baby is different. You do not need to feel like you are pressured to do something because what worked for their baby may not work for your baby. And that's something that you should know, like, as a first-time mom. What has worked for someone else's child may not work for your child. And the advice that they give you, it's okay for you to like feel like, okay, that's all right, I'll take that advice, but you don't have to act on it. So mentally kind of knowing that, and I know that it's hard because this information typically comes from those who are the closest to us. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but it comes from the people who are closest to us, like our parents, our siblings, our cousins, our whatever the case may be, like friends, whatever. And it's hard to say, please stop. But I feel like at this point in time in your life, because you are this child's mom, you are this child's dad, you need to step up and you need to say, that's enough. That's enough. Either if you have something nice to say, you can say it, or if you do not have anything nice to say, then please hang up the phone, or please leave me alone about this, or let's switch the topic. And I've had to do that in some cases, and what makes me upset is that they think that it's funny, and it's not. It's really not. Like, in all honesty, like, it's so not funny at all. It's something that I'm trying to tell you because you are hurting me mentally, emotionally, and it is making me feel less capable of being a mom that I know that I can be. So I encourage you, if they continue to like laugh about it or whatever the case may be, distance yourself. Disconnect the phone call, walk away, do what you can, because mentally, emotionally, you need to be as good for yourself as you do for this baby. So being mindful of that information, like, that is so very important, that I will always stress. It's so very important. I am gonna pause this for a second. So hey, I am currently editing this video, and I wanted to let you guys know I do look a hot mess. It's like almost 1 o'clock in the morning, but I wanted to say, basically, this is the end of this video, but the next video that's going to be posted is a finished up of this video that we're currently watching, so, or that you just watched, so definitely stay tuned. It's definitely going to be up tomorrow, so just being mindful of that if it's not already up now. So definitely go take a look at my channel, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Okay, bye.